fans, and welcome back to the Spotlight Reviewing Station. And today we're going to take a look at the very last action figure to come out, Wave 1 of Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection, which are 6-inch Power Rangers action figures, and not all Power Rangers to be exact. Hence, this action figure that we're taking a look at today, which is Mighty Morphin Lord Zedd. So before we take a look at the action figure, let's put him aside for a moment so we can take a good look at the packaging. Up close in your face, it's Lord Zedd, right. Down here it says Lord Zedd. Above that says Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Sorry, Saban's Power Rangers. Up at the top right corner, we got the Warring Choking Hazard, ages 4 and plus. Down below at the bottom right corner, we have Hasbro. And taking up the package is Lord Zedd. On this side of the packaging, we got the rest of that lovely artwork of Lord Zedd, with at the top saying Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. On the other side of the packaging, it's Lord Zedd once again. To the back of the packaging, we got the computerized image form of the action figure himself, with nothing too specific at the bottom, nothing at the top. The barcode at the bottom, but nothing too specific to really go through. And that's going to do it for the packaging, so let's go ahead and remove it. Oh wait, actually there's something I want to do real quickly. And showcase the packages on their sides like bookends. So this would be the way that you would display them on your shelves, which looks pretty nice if you want to keep them carded. Which these two figures actually are. To sell or not to sell. Anyway, minus those two, this is the actual set that you would actually get out of Wave 1. Just 4 figures here on this nice stand. And so moving right along to the action figure of Lord Zedd. And this is the coolest figure I've seen for Lord Zedd to come out of any toy company. Let's remove his staff for a moment so we can take a look at the figure himself. And my goodness, this is really show accurate. I just love the way this figure actually turned out. From how profound his muscle tone is, from the blackwashing to the brain at the top sticking out. Heck, even the Z for the crest piece. The metallic colors that they're using. And all these plastic tubings here done in a translucent plastic. Yes, this looks so good. And it goes all the way down to the legs. This is as screen accurate as it can get for Lord Zedd unless there were a Hot Toys figure. And I'm not trying to give Sideshow Collectibles any ideas. Maybe? Huh? Maybe? But just look at this figure all around. I mean, there's no way that I can describe this. So you're just going to have to see. I mean, from the front to the back, it's my goodness so good. Just standing this figure without putting him in any poses, and he looks so dynamic already as it is. It's just so mind-blowing how awesome this figure actually turned out. Hasbro had to put this figure in Wave 1. They knew what they were doing. Why would you pass up an opportunity at the starting point? You just can't. So let's move into articulation on Lord Zedd, because he does have a ball joint, which works really nice for inquisitive posing. He also has a hinge joint at the neck. Lord Zedd has also a butterfly joint. He also has a hinge joint, which has got a little bit of a grip to it, but not as tight as some of the other Rangers that I reviewed. And he does have a swivel cut to allow a full 360 rotation, except the tube might snap and you don't want to do that. He also has a bicep swivel cut, double jointed elbows, wrist swivels, and there's a hinge joint for inward and outward movement. Lord Zedd has a ball joint at the upper torso, so you can get a lot of flex even with the tubes. That does not hinder his movement. Figure also sports an ab crunch with this much moving forward, and no clicking sound, but yeah, you can get a lot going back. The legs are ball jointed at the hips, so you get this much kicking forward, and you actually get a little bit going back. Only downside is, just like the Rangers, you cannot get a full JCVD split. This is just going to be a common thing with this line. There's a thigh swivel cut. As you can see, this structure here, it's a separate piece, which is pretty nice. The knees are double jointed, and you can actually get them to work fully without this getting in the way. There's a hinge joint at the ankles to get this much downward and upward movement, and you can get a very nice ankle rocker pivot off of Lord Zedd. As for accessories, Lord Zedd obviously comes with his staff. Why wouldn't he come with his staff? And this is a very nice render form of the staff in 6-inch scale. Looks great. Only real gripe is that I wish we had a second staff to come with the figure with some duct tape here. But aside from that, at least they didn't skip a beat. I mean, there is the real detail going on here at the bottom of the staff, which is missing on most of the Bandai America products. And you can also get him to grip it pretty nicely. Some of the photos that originally showed off the prototype of the figure showed that the staff was kind of small compared to the figure, but I think this is pretty accurate. As for some other accessories, Lord Zedd does come with some interchangeable hands with a balled up fist for the left and an open hand here for his right. Lord Zedd also comes with something I was not expecting at all. He actually comes with one of those grow grenades that he throws to the earth, and it makes his monsters grow. Yes, that's cool. And as you can see, the figure is already equipped with one of those open hands where he can hold the bomb just like that. There we go. Pretty nice. And again, Lord Zedd comes with two open hands where you can actually place this bomb in the right one, but it's kind of a tight fit because I actually haven't used this hand yet, so it hasn't adjusted just yet. As for the last accessory that Lord Zedd comes with, it's an effect piece that actually goes on the top of the staff here that wraps around the Z, which it could take a little time to get used to this and how it works, but since this is a rush job, I'm just going to try something here, see hopefully that it holds in place, and yeah, that'll work just fine. And I understand that this is trying to recreate the lightning effect that would be used when he powers up his staff. I would have preferred if this piece was actually done in a clear plastic instead of a translucent red, only because the lightning effect that was used in the show was just plain white. But whatever, it's the thought that counts, right? I mean, it does look cool. Which I guess you could say this also looks pretty cool. And this just looks plain silly. Alright guys, it's that time of the video, so let's go ahead and dare to compare with Dino Charge Red Ranger, SPD Shadow Ranger, and Mighty Morphin White Ranger. Lord Ed is a breath of fresh air. I love the fact that we're going to get villains in the Lightning Collection. Hopefully we'll get more villains in this line as well, rather than just one per series. To start off with Lord Zedd in the very first wave of the Lightning Collection, there was no doubt about it. Lord Zedd is one of the coolest and truly one of the most badassest villains ever on television screens, especially back in the 90s. He brought a little something more to the game of Power Rangers than what Rita could actually have pulled off. Lord Zedd is a beast. He's a brute. He's one of the darkest characters in the Power Rangers franchise. Scared a bunch of kids back then, tell me. And the fact that Hasbro was actually able to capture the true likeness of this character in his profile, from the detail and the articulation to the extra amount that they went to give him a complete blackwash, is beyond astounding. I mean, what more can I say? The way that I have to take a moment to think about what I want to say on this guy, because there's so much to talk about in the shortest amount of time. I love the fact that he's got all these separate pieces on him, from the translucent tubes to the actual bone pieces. It just makes it look more convincing that this is an actor in a suit. You know, to give credit where credit is due, Bandai America didn't do a bad job with Lord Zedd. I mean, their Super Legends one was pretty good, and even their 2010 figure wasn't that bad, even for a small figure that couldn't get this much detail on it. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely going to say, for a night and day comparisons, yes, the Hasbro one is the main one. This is the masterpiece, the centerfold right here. This is the one that everybody wants to get. His articulation is on par with the Rangers themselves, something I thought we'd never see, which we wouldn't have if the license were still under Bandai America. From again the blackwashing to the clean paint application on the figure, and above all, the proportions are sick. His accessory is sick, the staff is perfect. Could use a little bit of some chrome painting here, but I digress. Interchangeable hands, the effect piece that goes on the end of the staff. What more could you ask for? He's even got his growing bomb that he throws at the monsters. What more could you ask for, really? How about a throne piece? We'll talk about that another time. Wink, wink. If you haven't guessed by now, Lord Zedd is a must-have. This whole entire series is a must-have right now. Even if you don't know anything about SPD, Dino Charge, you definitely want to pick up the Mighty Morphin ones if you grew up with them. If you're a 90s kid, you're going to want these figures. But against the two Mighty Morphin figures that we got in the first wave, my advice to you is to pick up Lord Zedd first, White Ranger next. So questions or comments, you know what to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And if you have any advice on what I should do with these two figures, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section of the video. Should I pick up the other two again and have unopened figures to display on my wall while I've got open figures to display and do whatever I want with? That's not a bad idea. And so with that, this is the unprofessional toy reviewer Red's Power sign off by saying when the opportunity persists, don't give up on your dreams, seize the moment, and thank you for watching.